It is a great joy to be with you on this Thursday of the Word of Encouragement, and I trust that this has been a week of blessing. God wants it to be that way. Oh, it's a battle. Satan is doing everything he can, especially with folks that really love the Lord, to stop them and discourage them. But greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. Well, today I'd like to look at Psalm 24, a psalm of David. And this just is the perspective that we've got to have all the time. Verse 1, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. This world in which we live ultimately is the Lord's. He created the heavens and the earth. He is in heaven now. He is the ultimate sovereign over all things. He created it by the word of his mouth. He formed it all. And so we need to understand that even though Satan is controlling his kingdom of darkness and unregenerate hearts and lives, that God is the one who ultimately controls the earth. We are on his planet. We are in his universe. The usurper is Satan, and though he does have greater power than human beings have, he does not have greater power than God, and we are indwelt by God, and we can live according to the power of God, so that means then we need to see the earth and the fullness thereof as God's earth. But for that to happen, we then have to go to the next two verses. Verse 3, who shall ascend unto the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? Who will be able to see it from God's perspective? Who will be able to look down upon the earth and understand from the heights of God's perspective that this earth is indeed the Lord's? Well, it's answered very clearly in verse 4. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. As believers, we know theologically that God is in control, that he's the creator, and that he will ultimately have control. And yet it is very easy for us to feel very dominated by this worldly system that Satan has under his control. And the reason we get in that place is we are not meeting with God in the heavenlies. We are not spiritually being revived by him. We are not able to go to his perspective from the throne and look down and see, no, this is the Lord's. He has won the victory. He is working. His plan is going forth, and we can trust him fully. And the reason we don't is the matter of a clean hands and pure heart. The sin in our day has discouraged a lot of believers. Technology has brought all kinds of wrong thinking and wrong viewing into Christians' lives. And there isn't purity. There isn't the desire for holiness. There is a getting into too much of the world's lifestyle, but through entertainment and even by different types of places that Christians will go, and they get defiled by being in places that do not honor the Lord. And when that becomes part of their life, well, they're not ascending into the hill of the Lord. They're not looking at life from the heavenlies, and therefore they can easily get desperate and feel like, I don't know what's going to happen, and really give up on what God can do in our day. Oh, I tell you, if we had a move of God, we would have folks get right with God about these issues and get hope in that God can give them victory and be able to meet with him and know his presence and be excited about who he is again and realize that God's doing great things today if we will look at it from his perspective. So I encourage you today, if you just feel like, this is not God's earth, well, it could be that you're discouraged about some part of your life. Just confess that, agree with God, claim the victory, and seek his presence. And my friend, everything will change. You'll realize, no, I serve the one who is in charge of everything.